Good evening and welcome everyone. Very, very exciting day today because we've got our SWIG opportunity meeting and we've got a very special guest in to present for us. Andrew Hawkes, global jet setter, a trainer for our Master Profi course, and he runs SWIG events all around the world. He's also my direct upline, and we're very, very excited to have him on the call. And obviously we've got well over 100 people here to see him. So Andrew, welcome to the call, buddy.
Hey mate, thank you very much for having me. And look, I appreciate the fact that you have had me here today. I know that your calls have been absolutely getting a heap of people on it, and it shows from your results. So congratulations to everything that you've got going on, Andrew, and to everybody that's here. But thanks for having me. Well, guys, again, thanks very much for having me here today. This presentation is actually from corporate, so it's the one that the corporate guys present. You guys are welcome to get the slides afterwards. If you want them, I can get them to you, no worries at all. But we'll just kick into it pretty quickly today, and I'll let you know a little bit about myself as we go along. Now, I do speak reasonably quickly. I am mindful of that, so if something's really important, I do my best to slow down with it. This compliance and risk disclaimer. So today we'll probably talk a little bit about EIPs, educational information products. We'll talk a little bit about multi-level crowd investing, so MLCI. We might mention PIPEs, pre-IPO private equity shares, which of course IPO standing for initial public offering. We'll more than likely mention STO, which is a security token offering. But here we go. Please note, we are not selling, nor are we licensed to sell shares or tokens. All countries have their own rules on the sale of financial products, and we respect the laws of the land. Generally speaking, most countries allow for the sale of information products without a special license. We are not selling shares or tokens. We are offering an opportunity to participate in a wealth creation education, which provides the fundamental principles on which wealth is created and retained. For doing so, you receive a gift, a free bonus of either pre-IPO private equity shares in the Skyway technology or the utility token CRU. We do not offer financial advice. You shouldn't either unless you're licensed to do so in your area of residence. Only general information is given and should be noted. Please do your own due diligence or seek confirmation from a licensed accountant or financial advisor in your area for compliance in your state or country. So now that we've got the tough stuff out of the way, a little bit about myself, ladies and gentlemen. My name, for those of you who don't know me, is Andrew Hawkes. I am a leader manager within this great organization, although that's probably likely to change today, tomorrow, whenever. I'm a father first. I have 3 beautiful children. My eldest just left the nest in March. She moved over to England. Sorry, I'm having a pause because I've just realized I haven't checked the little box that means you guys need to hear the sound. So I'm going to have to stop this screen share for a sec. But my eldest is in England. She's been there since March. She's absolutely flourishing. In the leaders department, currently there's a few people that are being considered for that, which basically means I look after all the English-speaking countries. And as Andrew's already said, I travel to those regularly and conduct trainings and things like that. I'm director of SWIG Australia, so I look after the operations primarily in Australia as well. I've been investing since I was about 20 or 21 when I bought my first investment property, but that doesn't mean to say I knew everything. In fact, I did everything the exact wrong way. And this education that we provide has absolutely taught me the follies of my way in that respect. I am a Master Profi coach, so I deliver that training too. The Genius of Finance game, which we'll have a little look in. I also am a facilitator and a coach for that. I've been in sales and marketing since I left the military 14 years ago. And I wrote my first book in 2011 called Rivers of Gold, How to Create Multiple Income Streams. So what we're going to go over today a little bit, I'll get into the right slide here. We're going to talk a little bit about the new economic evolution of the world. We'll talk about SWIG and how it came about and why it's important. We'll talk about the crypto unit program. We'll talk about the business opportunities that exist within the crypto unit program, some promotions and events, and then of course, as Andrew's already mentioned, we're going to have some question and answer time. So who remembers back to when they were a kid, right? We had absolute no problem in having massive dreams. You know, my mother told me when I was 5 years old, I said to her, Mum, I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I'm 20. Well, it wasn't quite right. I was about 28 and then I lost everything because I didn't have the education to keep it. But remember as a kid, we just absolutely had childlike wonder. Anything was possible. Nothing was out of the realm of possibility for us. And then what happened as we got older, life got in the way, didn't it? Life got in the way. We started having bills. Maybe we went to university and racked up some student debt. which we're still unsure of why we did that, but this debt's hanging around our neck. Then we got a family, and all of a sudden we had more mouths to feed. Things got harder. And then job security started becoming a big thing. I mean, realistically now, if you're in a job that can be automated, it will be automated in the next 15 to 20 years. So if that doesn't concern you, then you should probably have a real close look at your job, because in all honesty, most people's jobs aren't safe. So we need to start thinking a little bit differently. But at the moment, most of us are that little hamster stuck on the wheel, day in, day out, doing the same thing over and over again. So now up in the right side of that screen there, you can see the E, the S, and the B, and the I, which is, of course, the cash flow quadrant that was made famous by Robert Kiyosaki. Now, right now, our education system does a fabulous job of teaching us how to be an employee. We actually go and get a job. The unfortunate part about our education system is that it's designed for a paradigm that no longer exists. It was designed for the Industrial Revolution that's pretty much finished. We're now into the information age. In fact, big data is the next big move. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, start to do some research on that. But employees are beginning to become less and less significant. So our education system still trains us to do that. Now, some of the people that are really good at their job, they could move to become self-employed, which brings us to the S part. But then we don't have a job, we own a job. And unless we've got more than 500 people in our organization, we've actually just got a big headache. We find ourselves with less hours in the day and more work to do for less money. That's what inevitably happens for someone who's self-employed. And I've been in that trap as well, and so is my father. I've seen it generation after generation. What we want to do, if we want to get money to work for us and to actually make some real money, we need to move to the other side of the quadrant, which is the rich side. Now, if we look at B, it stands for big business. Any organization that has 500 people or more. Now, that organization can be a multi-level organization, so something that we're already involved in, like this. It generally has systems that are leverageable. And Archimedes said, if you give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum, I'll be able to move the world. And that's absolutely true, and that's what big business is about. But ultimately, what our education, SWIG's education does for us is try to bring us to the I quadrant, which is the investor side. Now, if you're not sure who Warren Buffett is, he is one of the wealthiest men in the world. Now, he has this to say about investing. If you can't work out how to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. I have no interest in that, and I'm pretty sure that everybody here on this call is very, very similar. So what do? Well, we need to educate ourselves. And how does that work? Well, enter this guy. This is Andre Havrato. He is the CEO of Skyway Invest Group. Now, he is a multidisciplinary investor, which means that he invests in multiple different market segments and has done for over 2 decades. He's the founder of Skyway Invest Group, obviously. He's an author and the creator of the Academy of Private Investors. So what's that? Well, that is essentially his 20 plus years knowledge in the investment world distilled into an online education product that he sold for many years before SWIG even started. In fact, he started the Academy of Private Investor in 2011. He's had over 100,000 graduates through that program. We'll get to that a little bit further on. He is a master in the profession of network marketing. What does that mean? Well, he went to India and he has created multiple 6-figure businesses in that space. So he understands how multi-level multi-level marketing works, right? But while he was doing that, he noticed that people outside of what he was doing were making more money. Some of the leaders were making more money. And he asked them, he's like, what are you doing for this? And they said, well, we're taking the money that we're earning from our business and we're investing it. And we're getting greater returns from our investments than we are from our business. We're leveraging our money. He's like, well, I need to learn how to do that. So he started to educate himself on how to get his money to work for him. And he soon realized that investing was far more lucrative than building a business. Okay. So he's like, well, how do we put them together? And we'll come across that as well. Now, in 2018, he was awarded Coach of the Year, Business Coach of the Year in Russia. So he'd done incredibly well in that respect as well. Now, he is the master of dream realization, meaning that, anything that he puts his mind to and visualizes on comes to reality. Now, he's got a beautiful mansion in Crimea, overlooks the Black Sea. That used to be a visualization process for him. He's like, this is what I want. And he's created that. One of the other things that he really, really wanted to do was to create 1 million millionaires. That's his drive, his passion. Because, be honest, he doesn't need to be doing what he's doing now with SWIG. He's self-made. He's got enough money coming in each and every week that he doesn't need to be going out and selling this concept. But he is. Because he knows one man, himself, by himself, can't necessarily make a difference. Yet if he creates 1 million people that have the knowledge on how to make that money work for them and to get that money doing great things, we can have a much, much bigger impact. So he came up with this concept for the new economic evolution of the world, okay? And that's it right here, which is essentially global wealth redistribution. Now, here's something alarming for you. If we were to take all the money in the world and distribute it evenly amongst all of the inhabitants, we'd have roughly over $1 million each, somewhere around there. But within 6 to 12 months, all of that money would be back where it is today. And that's because of our education or lack of education. So the new economic evolution of the world, it actually promotes wealth redistribution and security and protection. So we've got numbers together. We can do things together. We can add value to others. I mean, if you can show someone how they can get through the hard times, how they can work together, how they can get their money to work for them continuously, then they're going to be thankful to you. You're actually providing massive, massive value to them for that. Obviously, it promotes prosperity and happiness because of people. And guys, money isn't the key to happiness. It's the things that it can do for you. But let me say, it's much more comfortable crying in a BMW than it is on a push bike, right? And that's the difference. Everybody's got choices. And of course, dreams realization. And we're going to start getting back to that childlike wonder and going, man, that's what I wanted to do when I was a kid. What stopped us? What stopped us was life. Well, now we're going to have the monetary resources to go, you know what? I live life on my terms. That's where I'm going. That's what I'm about to do. So how does this look? The 3 pillars of the new economic evolution of the world, very, very simple. Education, co-ownership, and of course, business. So we need the education on how to get our money to work for us, how to grow a business. We need co-ownership. Now, that's where multi-level crowd investing comes in. We have co-ownership in multiple different businesses that will continue to pay us for years and years to come. Now, if we think back to traditional networking, if that parent company goes away, then so does our income source. If we're learning how to get our money to work for us and we're getting co-ownership in multiple different things, then if one of them goes, that's okay, we've still got more. That's the key. That's the co-ownership part. And of course, business. We know that our education system is lacking. If we can provide this education to other people, we can assist them to go through this whole cycle again. We get stronger because it's, again, safety in numbers. So if we have a look now at the first part of that, the education. Okay, we do that in a number of different ways. The Academy of Private Investor, as I said, was formed in 2011. Online education, an online portal to education and financial literacy. That's essentially what it was. Now, people used to pay $10,000 plus to attend that course, and we can get it now for literally pennies on the dollar compared to, right? We get access to this training. As I've already mentioned, it's had over 100,000 students through its doors. In fact, the first of those students brought the first opportunity to the whole thing. And then, of course, we've got other variety of training and courses as well, Master Profi and the likes of that, 1 and 2. Now, guys, we can become an investment consultant through the Academy of Private Investor if we wish to. Now, that's a little bit further down the track. The other side of that, though, if we come back to, no, I'll come back to that later. So the next part, guys, education and self-development. If we think about the investment principles, most of us don't know what they are, but our education within our organization shows us what that can be for us and what that can look like. Now, every person that has made money in their life have had a set of rules that they live by. So we go through the 8 rules of the private investor. So it shows us literally how we can get that money working for us, what pitfalls to avoid. We'll look at the capitalization basics. And most people, if you ask them what capitalization was, they wouldn't have a clue. Essentially, let's think about it as compounding. Now, Einstein said the compounding effect or the compound interest effect is like the 8th wonder of the world. Those that understand it will use it. Those that don't understand it will pay it. So it makes sense for us to learn exactly how this works. And again, our education system doesn't teach us this basic stuff. It doesn't teach us about risk and diversification. It's either good or it's bad. Whereas with our education, we can actually find that there's a little bit of gray area in between and work within that gray area to our advantage. That's what that's about. But of course, the ultimate is portfolio building, because all of that is great information. Until we put it into practice, it's just information. So we need to start building portfolios. Now, Andre has started doing that on our behalf. Come back to what his vision of creating 1 million millionaires. Now, he always wanted to create a global portfolio, but wasn't sure on how he would be able to do that. In 2014, when one of his students came to him and said, hey, here's something I think you should look at, Andre realized that that could be the start of the portfolio and great things to come. So let's have a look at some co-ownership. Let's look at the first part of that.
The Crypto Unit program provides an opportunity to become a co-owner, stakeholder, shareholder of a global investment portfolio. A portfolio with instruments in over 20 sectors of the investment market. The Crypto Unit is a chance for people to change the reality of their lives, do what they love, and live in abundance and prosperity. Stand out in the community and bring great benefits to other people. Solve the problems of class inequality and liquidate poverty and devastation. Creating the best opportunities which only appear once in a lifetime. The Crypto Unit program is what 90% of the people on the planet have been waiting for. Hurry up and claim your chance, your fortune, your prosperity. Refer to the person who shared this video with you.
I love that video. Every time I watch it, I get goosebumps because I know what it means for everyone. So that is the first part of where we're at, the Crypto Unit program. Now, it is a global portfolio, and everybody that participates in it has ownership of that global portfolio. Now, I've already mentioned that Andre is multidisciplinary investor, means he invests in multiple different market segments. We look at around 20, and we have 20 plus market segments in our Crypto Unit portfolio. And we have over 28 different instruments in there right now, and the value of that is increasing phenomenally. We'll go over that very, very soon. But let's have a look now at some facts and figures. If we played with $1 million, and if we started in 1998 and went right through to 2018, 20 years, let's have a look at it. In the European companies, we'd be looking at just over $3.5 million for that time, for that 20 years. Okay, if we look at the American companies, it's brought in just over $62 million, $62.5 million. Now, that's not to be sneezed at. That's reasonable, right? $1 million returned us $62 million over 20 years. Most of us would be reasonably happy with that. When you think about that's over $1 million a year. But now we look at the Russian companies, the third one. $1 million invested in 98 and revisited in 2018 has brought us over $200 million. So we need to start looking at different market segments, and that's where it's important. We have a global portfolio. So we've taken all three of those categories and they're in. So we've got European companies, we've got US companies, we've got Russian companies, and they're all growing. And there's no wonder our portfolio is growing at the rate that it is. Now, one of the things we need to look at when we're building a portfolio is our bulls, right? We want to have some bulls in there. And what do we mean by bulls? Well, generally, when we have a bull, we raise it from a weaner, there's not a steer, from a weaner, right through to a fully grown bull. We don't realize any money from that until we sell it. Does it make sense? We can't milk it unless we put it out to stud, but that's a slightly different story, okay? That might be a diversification. But a bull is something that we do need in our portfolio. Now, if I liken this to crypto, Bitcoin would be a bull because you can't realize your money from it until you sell it. Does it make sense? For the most part. Obviously, you can trade it and things like that, but that's not actually in your portfolio. It's in and out. That's a different category. It's trading. So we also need to have some cash cows in our portfolio. And what do we mean by that? Well, if a bull means that we have to raise it until it's fully grown before we can realize the money from it, then a cow could mean that we can actually get money from it along the way. Because what comes from a cow? Milk, right? So if we're milking a cow, we can sell the milk and so on and so forth. So obviously we want to have these in our portfolio too, because these are going to continue to pay us month after month, right? This is where we start to get our passive income from. So our global portfolio, as I've already said, is made up of these 20 different market sectors. We have something from every one of these sectors in our portfolio. The ones I want to focus on today is number 5, innovative transport and development sector, the banking sector, stock markets, and the currency markets. Okay, I want to have a look at all those things, but also I want you to note in here the precious metals sector, because our portfolio is also co-owner in a couple of gold mines, and we also are into diamond manufacturing, which is it's a massive market because people are going away from mined diamonds because of the conflict and because of the fact that they could be blood diamonds, all that sort of thing. So we're in a great market there. But I also want you to notice 19, the space program, because we are in that as well. And that is where our future is going to hit. So let's have a look now. In the number 5, the innovative transport sector, this gentleman here with Andre is Dr. Anatoly Yanitsky. Now in 2014, we'll bring that story back full circle now. One of Andre's students from the Academy of Private Investor came to him and said, Andre, I've got this amazing opportunity that I think you should look at. And of course it was this great transport skyway string technology. Now in 2014, Andre and Dr. Unitsky got together. They signed an agreement for 20 plus years. For any projects that Dr. Unitsky comes up, we can help fund and become a co-owner of. So the timeline here, what's not on that timeline, oh, you can't see the timeline yet because it's right there. On the timeline that we've got right here, what you can't see is the year 1978, which is when the technology development started. Now, between 78 and 2014, Unitsky raised roughly $20 million over that time. He went to multiple different investors and he had multiple different false starts. So in 2012, when President Obama passed the Jobs Act, which meant that literally any company could now go to blue-collar workers and raise funds for their venture, he did exactly that. And he created RSW systems to create funds for this transport. Still not making too much money. In 2014, he met Andre. Since 2014, they've raised over $150 million. So we know this concept of multi-level crowd investing works wonders, okay? In 2014, they started the engineering, the technical documentation. And in 2015, they broke ground at Ecotech Park in Belarus, Marina Gorka Ecotech Park. Now, there's a few of us that have been up there, a few of us that are heading back up in another few weeks. You're more than welcome to come up. We'll get to that in a sec. But of course, 2016 and beyond, they started demonstration and certification. Now, of the 3 original transport types, okay, we'll come to that in a sec, there's now 9. And there's 7 that are certified, 2 that are still going through certification process. Now, 2018 to 19, we're looking at the technology adoption. It's already being built in Sharjah, which is one of the smaller Emirates in the UAE, and it's about to start construction in Dubai, ready for the 2020 Expo. And that's pretty exciting. Everybody who's already a partner here are a co-owner of that, either through the crypto unit program or directly into the company. Now, what I want you to note there is beyond 2018, it says it's going to go to an IPO. Absolutely beautiful. Now, in 2018 at EcoFest last year, they released the current valuation of the company at $5 billion. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, it meant that if they sold everything, all the plant and equipment right now today, they'd get a roughly $5 billion in their bank account. So it went from 100 million to 5 billion. The capitalization over 5 years, phenomenal once again. Now the projected valuation, so when it's all completed, again, this was based on 3 transport types, was over $400 billion. And the shares, or the pre-IPO private equity shares, were issued on that basis at a par value, so 1 for 1. Read into that. Now, there are more than 300 MOUs signed worldwide with this. In fact, there's more contracts as well signed now. An MOU is a memorandum of understanding. It is the precursor to a contract with more than 12 countries. It's well higher than 12 countries now. There's over 150 million raised, and this this technology is fully transferable. What does that mean? Well, in Australia, we've got factories in Victoria that are empty because Holden's gone, right? They no longer manufacture vehicles here in Australia anymore. So we've got these factories lying dormant. In Detroit, in the States, there's factories lying dormant. We can bring this technology here and go to those places and build it under license, creating more jobs again. That's what's exciting about fully transferable. Now, as I've already mentioned, there is EcoFest coming up again this year on the 17th of August, 2019. I'm certainly going up to that. I'm taking a few people up with me. You can still buy a ticket and come up. If you're wondering about the technology and go, is it real? Come up and check it out for yourself. There's nothing like being able to knock on it, drive on it, and people will be able to have a ride on it this year. So tickets are available. I think festivals.rsw-systems.com. So Andrew might be able to share that with everyone later. Okay, so the next one here, the banking sector. Sorry, where am I? Yep, banking sector. Now you can see here, Andre standing next to what looks like an ATM, and it actually is an ATM. It's a crypto ATM. So anybody that's involved with our crypto unit program is a co-owner of that ATM because we're in that sector. Now, there's literally thousands of these being implemented around the world. Now, right now, of all crypto ATMs, around 62% of them only sell you crypto. You can't do anything else except put fiat currency in and get crypto into a wallet. That's cool. But what if you've got money in your crypto wallet and you want to get fiat out so you can spend it today? Our crypto machines do that. Now, here's something to consider. In our bear market that we've had in the crypto world in the last 18 months, a bear market's flat or it's dropping, these machines, not these ones in particular, but crypto machines on average, have averaged $100,000 in revenue a month. That's phenomenal. Imagine if we had 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 of these out in the market. All that money coming back into our portfolio that, because we're in the club, we're a co-owner of. That's phenomenal. We're in that banking sector. Now, that's that banking sector. What about the stock market sector? We think about the third co-founder of Apple, who sold his stake, his 10% stake for $800 just weeks after they started Apple because he didn't believe in the project. That 10% stake now is worth over $90 billion. Do you think he's kicking himself a little bit? Maybe. What about Coca-Cola? There's on the screen. This is the difference now between an employee and investor. Now, the CEO for Coca-Cola in 2016 received about $16 million in bonuses that year. That's not bad. It's not to be sneezed at. But he worked for that. Now, if we think about Warren Buffett, who's one of the major investors or shareholders, Berkshire Hathaway, received $568 million just because of his know-how and expertise. Which side of the coin do you want to be on? I know where I want to be. Maybe you missed Google. Maybe you missed all of those. Now you've got the opportunity to get involved in a global portfolio that actually has a bit of stock in most of these. That's pretty cool. What about the crypto unit program, regulated and transparent? So let's have a look at that. What do we mean? Well, right now you receive a promissory note for the crypto unit token when it becomes tokenized. It will become tokenized in October this year. Everything's being done right now. The white book, and it's different to a white paper, and we'll probably get that in the Q&A, but the white book comes out this month. Everything has to be incredibly transparent. So as opposed to the crypto market, the ICO market, there's no regulation in that. I could say, I'm going to start a coin, and you guys will have a look at the white paper, and it'll be great. And you go, yeah, that sounds really cool. Andrew, here's some money. You made a donation. That's all you've done. Most people will go, no, I've invested money. No, you've made a donation because there's no comeback for you on that. So the difference between that and what we're doing is that there's every comeback on that because it's regulated, it's transparent. Every transaction within what we do has to be regulated, has to be audited. So you know that you're actually getting into something that's legitimate. And I think that's really, really important to note. So dividends and regular loyalty payments. Right now, in fact, there'll be people on this call, I can guarantee it, that have received loyalty payments. Last month, my 8-year-old son received $200. You know, he's still going to school. My other son, my 9-year-old son, received slightly less, but probably not next month. They'll probably get about the same. But the fact is there's people already earning loyalty payments on this. Now, here's where the power of multi-level crowd investing comes in. If you want to come in and be passive, that's awesome. I know that the people that have been passive in this have received about a 2 to 4% return. Again, awesome. That's just in a 3-month window. Imagine at the banks, you're getting 2% per annum if you're lucky. Now, myself, because I've taken the whole business on board, I've had an 89% plus return. I know of people that are doing the same as I that had a 200% return. That's the difference between being passive and participating in multi-level crowd investing. That's how it works. That's the difference. Dividends will start once, obviously, the token hits the market, which will be later this year. So the STO, or the crypto unit program, is being rolled out in 3 phases. Phase 1, pre-STO, that's where we are right now. It's the club phase. 8 stages only, and we're currently in stage 5, about to go to stage 6. And then, of course, the prices will stay the same, but the discounts will change. This will last 6 to 12 months, and there's roughly 30 billion crypto units released in that time. Now, I've had a lot of people in the crypto market go, oh, that's a lot of tokens. Yeah, maybe in the crypto market, but this is a little bit different, and people need to get their head around that slightly. So phase 2 is the STO launch. So it's when we go to market, and it's October this year. It's going to last 8 to 17 months, and there'll be 20 billion tokens released. Now, again, different to your traditional ICO or crypto space because it is slightly different. This is an asset-backed token. So the token has a value behind it. It's not just an idea, not just digital. Now, they won't just be released 20 billion into the market. They'll be drip-fed into the market so that we, as members, have a possibility or an option to control how that price goes. We will all be able to say, no, I'm going to put a buy order in for X amount, and it'll continue to push that up. And then, of course, phase 3, global merchandising, where we should be able to get to the asset value over $100 trillion within that portfolio. Now that's possible because of the market sectors we're in, and we can cover that in Q&A later if people have got questions about it. 4 to 8 years, again, 20 billion tokens will be released at that time, not dumped into the market. They'll be drip fed, and then there'll be 10 billion held for liquidity. So they may not ever hit the market at all. So how can you get involved? It's really, really simple, although I will tell you that EIP, from EIP 5 right through to 8 have sold out this month. They're gone. So there's no option to buy those this month, but there is from the startup right through to 4. Okay, so you guys can still get involved at that. Now, what does that get you? It gets you an education on how to make your money to work for you, but it also gets you as a bonus those crypto units. They're only available to closed club members right now. These aren't available anywhere on the open market. There's an old saying that says, make hay while the sun shines. The sun's shining right now. It's time for everybody to make some hay. So the business side of it, it's really, really simple. Again, SWIG was established 2014. It has more than 550,000 partners globally. So we make up over half of what Skyway has in total. Okay, and they've got 2 other companies fundraising. So we make over half of that. We've got business that's actually in over 150 countries right now. We offer investment and financial literacy. And of course, we offer the opportunity to business and network. Now, guys, this is different to any other network opportunity you've ever been in, because you don't have to pay a certain amount each month to continue to get paid. You don't have to wait for their pay cycle for you to get paid. If you make a sale today, you get paid today. You can withdraw it overnight and you can spend it tomorrow. It's that simple. And you don't have to have paid a certain amount each month. You could go away. You could hit a rank. Andrew here is a leader manager. Great. He could go away for 12 months, come back. He's still a leader manager. He puts some money in, bang, he's away again. He's starting to make, in fact, he probably still made money while he was away. I've never seen a business like that. And I've never seen a business that's giving you a co-ownership in everything that they've done. So it's very, very unique in that respect. Now let's have a look. In 2014, Andre was able to realize his ambition of creating a global fund. And he started it with $26,000. Now, just as a side note, Andre is the single largest single investor rather, in the Skyway technology with over 500 million pre-IPO equity shares. SWIG, the portfolio, now has just over, or just around, hovering around the billion pre-IPO private equity shares mark. Okay, so in October 2014, they put 26,000 into this program, into this portfolio. And by June 2019, the capital was in fact 14.5. It's slightly higher than that now. So that gives us a growth of 55,669% growth. Crazy. That's over 1,000% a month, over 34% a day. Here's the caveat I'll put with that, guys. That's not compounding. That's looking back on what we've done. Okay, this is where we are today. That's where we started. This has been the growth. That's not saying that it's compounding at 34% a day. So get that out of your mind for right now. That's just what it has done historically. Very, very cool when we think of it like that. So multi-level crowd investing, obviously we've spoken a little bit about it. It's different to any networking opportunities. I've already said this will give you ownership in multiple different markets and multiple different businesses. So if one of them falls over, you've still got the other ones. Okay, you're literally building an investment portfolio that will pay you for life and getting the education on how to continue to build that and continue to get your money working for you. Armand Muniax, one of our top leaders in our company, he's just gone presidential advisor. Okay, he started this business as a porter in a hotel. In fact, he was laid up on a mate's couch. He was injured. He actually couldn't work. So his money was disappearing fast. He didn't have any investment knowledge. But by applying what he learned through our company, he has now over 148 different instruments in his personal portfolio. He earns well over $200,000 each and every month from what he does. He started as an injured person on a couch 4 years ago. If he can do that in 4 years, what can we do? Most of us put it off and say we've got to work for 40 years and then we'll look at it. It doesn't work that way. So if you wanted to get ahead within our company right now, it is the easiest chance you will ever have. We start as a partner. You can earn between $300 and $200 a month. That's what that is, 300 and 200 units, right up to president. And I know there's a gentleman on the call. I'm looking at him right now. Andrew Twelvetree will be president by the time we hit Eventi in October. And I'm stoked to see that. So guys, I can tell you, I'm sitting around the leader manager mark right now. I can tell you those figures are pretty accurate. I'm slightly higher than what that says, but still pretty accurate for a monthly income. That's what's possible, guys. It's simple. It doesn't take much to get to leader manager right now. In fact, I'm pretty sure somebody just popped leader manager out there while we've been speaking, because I've heard some more shouts. So guys, anything is possible here. So there's multiple different incomes available within the opportunity today through your network. Obviously, if you want to share it with people, you're going to get paid a referral for that. And of course, there's different percentages for each level. The loyalty program, so if you're involved in the crypto unit program, between the 5th and the 10th of every month, you're going to get paid a loyalty payment. For me, my loyalty payment is enough to cover all of our expenses. So we are financially free by definition because all of my expenses are covered. I now have a lot more choices with the rest of the money that I make each and every month. The leaders group, as I said, I'm in that leaders group. I look after the English speaking world. When you get to that, and there's a significant amount of work you have to do to that, I'll be honest, but they'll pay you a percentage of what the global revenue or what the English speaking revenue is. For me, it's English speaking. Maybe you're in the Latin community, maybe all of the Spanish speaking, who knows? Now, the figure I just told you on the page before doesn't include what I get from the company for that, okay? So that's available to anybody that wants it. If you wanted to be a speaker or a coach, then there's a pathway for you to do that within the company. You can get paid for that too. And then, of course, ultimately, the multi-level crowd investing department. There is currently 8 people in that department. I think they have 11 chairs, so there's still three seats to fill. They get paid, they get a share of global revenue each and every month. Last month it was over 16 million. That's a possibility. Now in the future, obviously, we're talking about going to a security token offering. When that happens and it goes to the public market, happy days. We're going to start to see dividends and things from that. You'll be able to start to sell some of your tokens if you want, although I personally would be holding them because I know I'm being paid to hold them. Then we're going to get dividends from that. Okay, and of course, the Skyway side of it will get dividends from that when that goes to an IPO. We could put IPO up there as well. Global merchandising, ladies and gentlemen, when that happens, it means it will be a licensed product that financial investment or financial advisors will be able to sell to their clients. And that brings us back to the Academy of Private Investor, meaning that if you become an investment consultant with that company, which the course is there now for you, if you become an investment consultant, you will be licensed. You will get a bigger percentage for selling it to databases. Very, very crazy. It's an incredibly smart move by our CEO. So Master Profi level 1 and 2, as I've already said, and so is Andrew, I am a Master Profi coach and one of 8 English speaking certified coaches worldwide. The first course gets you onto the fast track for your SWIG business. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll be honest, the information that you get in that, you can literally use on any business. Bricks and mortar, doesn't matter. It's good information. Proven strategies for fast growth, obviously investment and financial literacy. There's practical exercises to show you how to put it into play. Now, there is literally under the old marketing plan, I'm talking about for rank advancement because there's a special on at the moment. Under the old marketing plan, there is a plan there that can show you how to get to top manager within 12 months. And that's a lot harder than it is today. To get to top manager under the old system, about 8,000 people, somewhere around there. To get there under this system, slightly less than 100, okay? That finishes at Eventi this year. So make hay while the sun shines, as I've said. And of course, there's workshops and ongoing coaching for that. So ladies and gentlemen, what we have got going on at the moment, there is some great promotions for July only. So you've got a few days left in this window. You can invite up to 50 people directly into the crypto unit program, meaning they don't have to go through SWIG at all. They can come directly into your crypto unit program. They will receive 20 units as a gift simply for verifying their account. That means they only have to put $33 in themselves and they can get themselves a pack. Great. They can get any pack from, and in fact, they get 5 from the 53 to 100 packs, and they can get 1 of the other top ones. That's forever for the next 3 stages after this. So it's a great time to get involved and enroll people directly into that. So leaders, are they born or they made? What does it take to be a true leader? Let's have a quick look at this.
Eventi SWIG 2019, October 11 to 17. SWIG invites you to the greatest international educational summit in New Delhi, India. Indira Gandhi Stadium, thousands of partners from all over the world. 7 days of only useful information, training and practice for managers and investors. Use the opportunity to get all of the answers to all of your questions. Take your business to the next level. Expand your partnerships. Develop, listen, analyze, and apply. Share your business experience and let the whole world know about you.
Всем привет!
Sarò presente a Event SWIG 2019.
See you there in New Delhi, India.
Где состоится самое грандиозное событие для всей планеты.
The Andrea Havrato will share amazing news.
This is a must-attend event.
I'm going to go to New Delhi to celebrate with over 20,000 people.
Я хочу, чтобы ты осознал всю значимость такого события. It's going to be the most amazing, powerful.
This opportunity will never come again.
Вы сможете изменить свою жизнь раз и навсегда.
I recommend you really don't miss out our event.
Пока есть время, покупайте билет и присоединяйтесь к нашей компании SWIG.
И это будет роскошное мероприятие с красными дорожками и с людьми-брендами.
Люди с одной идеей, с одной целью.
Потому что это мероприятие бывает только один раз в жизни.
Gandhi Arena will be waiting for you 11th of October this year.
We are together.
Good India, good SWIG.
I'm going to Eventi India. Are you?
Eventi SWIG 2019. The 5th year anniversary of the company. The birth of the new stars in the business. Become a part of history. Light the fire of financial freedom. October 11 to 17, New Delhi, India. Eventi SWIG 2019.
Oh, I can't wait for Eventi. It's going to be awesome. So, guys, it runs from the 11th to the 17th of October. On the 11th, there's training for managers and above with Andre Havrato himself. You get there, you'll plug into the training, and then we'll get into some the SWIG Eventi itself on the 12th and the 13th. Now, there's going to be some massive announcements made at that stage. I believe we've got some guest speakers coming in from overseas too that are going to help with that. Of course, we've got all our own top leaders that are going to speak at the event also. But it's going to be an event that will continue to pay you for life, and I'll explain why that is in a second. Now, from the 15th to the 17th, there's an exclusive training with Andre for lead managers and above, and there's a promotion going on with that. So not even if you weren't even a leader manager, you could still get there, and I'll explain that too. Right now, you can get a ticket for $1,000 to get to that event. Now, I'll go through that in a sec. In August, that goes up to $1,200. In September, $1,500, and by October, it will be $2,000 a ticket. Now, the benefits for that get less as we go along. So let me explain that. In July only, for 1,000 units, you will get access to exclusive training in Minsk. That's coming up very, very soon, and that's including the speaker training that's coming up. If you want to come up to Minsk and get that, obviously, it's going to be amazing. You'll get worth an extra $1,000. Now, you will receive 100,000 crypto units up front. Awesome. But for attending Eventi, you'll also receive another 100,000 units once you've attended the event. Here's the kicker though. You'll get a double loyalty bonus and dividends in that time space in the month after. Now, that's not just on those 100,000 or 200,000 tokens. That's on your entire portfolio. If you've got a portfolio that's worth 2 million, it's got 2 million crypto units in it. When you attend Eventi after purchasing this ticket, you'll get double loyalty payments and dividends on all of your tokens. And I think that is incredibly exciting to remember. So what about a new apartment by the sea? We have some promotions going on that make this even sweeter. Would you like to have an apartment by the sea? Your choice where? What about a new car? What about a trip to the Maldives or Phuket for 10 days? All paid for by the company. What about a trip to Goa? Now, I mentioned that leader exclusive training from Andre Havrato for leader managers above. Even if you weren't a leader manager and you won this, you could go and attend that training. And I can tell you, it will be absolutely priceless. So how does that look? Participation conditions are really, really simple. From the 1st of July to the 30th of September, you personally need to obtain the rank of consultant or higher. So that means in that window, if you're already a consultant, you must rank advance. Now, from the 1st of June, you have to attract partners with the consultant status. So that means you have to put people on your front line that hit consultant, okay? The structure volume must be over 50,000 units for those 3 months. And in the CRU account from the 1st of July to the 30th of September. So between the 1st of July and the 30th of September, you must have 50,000 units through your account, through your volume. That's from the people you attract. Really, really absolutely simple for anybody to win this competition. You just have to rank advance. The higher the rank, the better. put consultants on your front line, and have more than 50,000 through your account. Anyone can do this. I can tell you that through my account in the last 3 months, $2 million just from the crypto unit programs. Anyone can do this. It's simple. You've got in your hands right now. So are you guys ready? That's it. That's the end of the presentation, ladies and gentlemen. I hope it has been of value to you. It's been great being here. And now let's open it up for some questions, Andrew.